Well, now that these series of bowls have been poured out, bringing in the final judgment, we now see with John a series of scenes. And the scenes involve the judgment that is upon the unholy trinity, that is the devil, the beast from the sea, and the beast from the land. So the question that we're essentially answering is, will the devil and all of his agents get away with it? The answer is no. So why not pause the video and read chapters 17 and 18 so that you know what we're looking at. It's quite easy to see how in John's time these two would have connected in a very vivid and real way. The beast that is there would quite obviously represent Rome, with its kings, with its state power and authority, that is godless and yet is worshipped. And so the prostitute that is riding the beast, well, I think that would be Jerusalem, the people of God, or so they were supposed to be, who had compromised with the state, who were riding the beast, who were called a prostitute, as God's people were whenever they worshipped false gods in the first half of the Bible as well. The same goes on today as well. We have a godless state, godless authority. Influence varies throughout history and across the world, of course. And we also have godless religion that is compromised with the state, that doesn't truly follow and worship God. The angel explains to John that for all of the kings and rulers that will rise up, they're limited as an entity and limited as individuals. There is a total number that will rule, numbered by God. And that's good to know when the kings and those in authority actually oppose the Lamb, Jesus, and his people, the church. They are limited in their rule. But then the angel explains what is going to happen to the prostitute, to the woman. She is going to be overcome by the very thing that she rides. The beast actually turns on the woman and destroys her. The lesson there is clear, that compromised religion will eventually be swallowed up by that which it compromises with. Moving on into chapter 18, and there's an angel that announces the demise of the prostitute. Her downfall is declared. And then a voice comes from heaven calling for God's faithful people, his true people, to separate from compromised false religion. The reason being is that judgment is very soon going to come upon her. Judgment for their sin, which is exercised in a very just and right way. And then that justice, that judgment is elaborated upon in a very poetic way, and it describes her as being now absolutely worthless to anyone once she has received her judgment. Finally, we're given a picture at the end of chapter 18 where an angel picks up a boulder and throws it into the sea and declares that this is the same way that this woman will be thrown down and destroyed. She will receive the judgment for her sin. If we're ever faced with the choice, do we compromise or do we face opposition? We might think, well, we can compromise just a little bit and then remain faithful with a lot. But it never works. It may start small, but we end up giving it all away. We end up compromised with false religion and a godless state, and eventually facing the consequences for that. It is far better to face the opposition, knowing that it is limited by God in time and scope. Well, next time we'll be into chapter 19. Join us then.